Good evening. It's a pleasure to call to order the annual organizational meeting of the Poquoson School Board. And our first order of business is to elect our chair for this coming year. And so I'll open the floor at this time for a motion for chairman for the Poquoson School Board.
Mr. Tillett, I would like to move to have Dr. Burbridge be chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Dr. Bartlett is absent. Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Osborne?
Aye.
Chair Burbridge?
Aye.
Vote passes.
And it's my great pleasure to turn the meeting over to our chair, Dr. Burbridge.
Thank you. I would like to move on and make a motion. We need to elect a vice chair, and I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Mike DeBose to be vice chair for the coming school board year.
Second.
Please.
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell?
Aye.
Ms. Osborne?
Aye.
Chair Burbridge?
Aye.
Vote passes. 6-0.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next order of business, school board members have to move into various committees and things like that. So we have a chair and a vice chair. We have the New Horizons Board. We have the Poquoson Education Foundation. We have the Special Education Committee, WHRO Board of Directors. We have the VSBA delegates. We have the School Health Advisory Board, the Gifted Education Advisory Committee, the CTE Advisory Committee, and the Safety Committee. We're going to populate this, and we're going to basically do all of this in one vote instead of I would like to consider Dr. Bartlett as the New Horizons Board Chair. She's been working with New Horizons all last year, and she's expressed interest in continuing her work there. For the Poquoson Education Foundation, now all y'all speak up if you have alternatives here. I'd like to nominate Mr. DeBose and Ms. Jones for the Poquoson Education. You two could work this all together. For the Special Education Committee, Ms. Osborne. I'd like to make that considered.
Yes, sir.
WHRO Board of Directors, that's traditionally the school board chair. Those meetings are in Norfolk or online, so I'm in Norfolk quite a bit, so I'll put my name in there. And then for the Virginia School Board Association Convention, Mr. DeBose and I as chair and vice chair. The School Health Advisory Board, Mr. DeBose. Gifted Education and Advice, the GIAC. Do we have any volunteers for that?
I don't mind continuing to serve in that role, but I'm open if.
Okay, all right. And then lastly, there's two more, the CTE Advisory Committee. Mr. Dowd, I think given your background and experience, that would be, okay. And then lastly, Safety Committee, Mr. Maxwell. Does anybody have any other thoughts for any of those positions, or? Okay. All right. Well then, can I have a motion to accept the nominations as, how would we do that? As read. Can I have a nomination to accept the committee positions as read?
I move that we accept the committee positions as read.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Osborne?
Aye.
Chair Burbridge?
Aye.
Vote passes.
Okay, well, that is all we needed to do in this work session, so I don't think there's anything else to do. Well, I'm going to adjourn this portion.
Mr. Maxwell, did I call you?
No,
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Maxwell.
Just let the record show, I would say aye.
Okay. We've got, we've got 2 new board members and 1 missing, so let's get the routine back down. All right, so we're good? All right, I'm going to adjourn this portion of the meeting.
running this side of the desk.
All right, so I guess, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. For all the public that is listening in tonight, I'd like to call to order the August 19th, 2025 Poquoson City Public Schools School Board meeting. First of all, we'll start with Ms. Studd, if you'll come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please pause for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Today, our quote comes from Sidney J. Harris. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Carroll, are there any additions and/or modifications to the agenda for tonight?
We do have some modifications today. First of all, the presentation by WHRO that was scheduled for this evening has been moved to October. Secondly, we have an addendum to the personnel action. On the dais before you is the addition to the personnel action, and we ask that you add that to the personnel action that's currently listed for approval by the board at section 7C. And lastly, regarding the minutes from June, there were a few clerical adjustments made to the minutes, and the minutes that will be approved this evening have the clerical adjustments made. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Ms. Purdy, do we, for recognition, no recognitions for this evening? Okay, well then we'll move right into presentations and reports. Ms. Ide?
Okay. Good evening, Chair Burbidge, school board members, Superintendent Tillett, staff, and community members. Tonight, I will present on a variety of topics, including our summer happenings, an update with our Wallace Foundation work, and of course, our College Now initiative. Starting with our new staff orientation, it's been an exceptional start for our incoming educators, offering a blend of professional preparation and community engagement. Throughout the week, new staff members were introduced to their colleagues, connected with essential technology, and enjoyed a guided bus tour of the city, and also treated to some Beans ice cream. The Poquoson Kiwanis group graciously hosted a warm welcome event, making sure our educators felt at home. Our new hires received comprehensive professional development designed to set them up for success from day one. The training covered critical areas, starting with an in-depth introduction to new teacher induction program, key learning management platforms, PowerSchool, and Canvas. In addition, specialized training was provided to special education teachers, equipping our educators with the knowledge and skills necessary to meet the needs of our diverse students. Our commitment to safety and communication was reinforced through CPR certification and training on Parent Square, Vector, and Educator's Handbook. With the return of our entire staff, various trainings and professional development opportunities continued to occur within each school. And I know I saw a few of you there, but I'm excited to share the success of our recent professional development event, Spark, which brought together a diverse group of over 300 attendees from across our school community. This event was designed to provide tailored professional development opportunities that meet the unique needs of all of our staff members. We offered 49 choice sessions, allowing attendees to select the training that best aligned with their roles and professional growth. These sessions covered a wide range of topics to ensure that teachers, paraprofessionals, registrars, bus drivers, administrators, counselors, and administrative assistants found relevant and impactful learning opportunities. We had outside presenters from the Virginia Literacy Partnership, NOAA, WHRO, the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, Centera, and our financial company, Voya. Ooh, okay, fun. All right, this slide highlights some of the sessions offered to our staff. We're excited to see what next year's sessions will bring us as we continue to provide engaging professional learning opportunities. This event would not be possible without the dedication of Ms. Kelly Purdy, who ensures that sessions are meaningful and applicable to all staff. She is supported by student volunteers and our admin interns, Ms. Rebecca Clancy and Ms. Mandy Bowles. We're deeply grateful for their hard work in making this event a success. Of course, we also extend our thanks to the presenters, including our own staff, local businesses, community members, whose contributions make this event wonderful. We also want to provide you an update on our Summer Academy. So this year we had 119 kindergarten through 8th grade students with an average daily attendance of 93 students per day, which is pretty good for summer. Our primary focus, of course, is math and literacy, and each day students engage in activities designed to strengthen their skills in these critical areas. In addition to academics, we have the Poquoson Public Library play a significant role in the program. Weekly visits from the library allowed students to dive into reading sessions, sparking their imaginations and reinforcing their literacy skills in a fun and engaging way. Our Summer Academy would not have been possible without the hard work of the PCPS teachers and staff who dedicated their time and creativity. We would like to thank our Summer Academy coordinator, Ms. Kristen Lamb, and again, our administrative interns, Ms. Rebecca Clancy and Ms. Mandy Bowles. We'd also like to thank Mr. Brett Higginbotham for his work with high school students and credit recovery. We had a fun opportunity from Globe and NASA Eclipse. We had an invitation earlier this spring, and in June, elementary teachers Ms. Angela Turco, Melanie Shields, high school teacher Simone Huey, and math coach Katie Johnson took part in a professional learning experience in Hampton offered by Globe and NASA Eclipse in partnership with the National Institute of Aerospace. Throughout the two-day training, participants engaged in rigorous SOL-aligned lessons on the relationship between land cover, climate, and the Earth as a system, gaining resources and strategies they are now able to distribute across the division. PCPS was also awarded $5,000 to purchase STEM items to implement these lessons into the curriculum. These items will be arriving within the next month and distributed across the division to aid teachers to enrich their lessons. In addition, Ms. Turco, Ms. Shields, and Ms. Huey shared what they learned and how to use these resources during our Spark PD Day with their colleagues. We're so thankful for this opportunity and look forward to seeing these wonderful resources and materials in use in our classroom. So I wanted to give a thanks to the teachers who agreed to write our curriculum, to enrich our curriculum every summer. This work includes reviewing existing curriculum, creating new pacing guides, and the creation of our accelerated courses for the science and social studies classes we talked to you last year. So Ms. Turco, Ms. Adams, Ms. Haskins, Ms. Clancy, Ms. Shields, Ms. Parker, Ms. Freeman, Ms. Edwards, Ms. Dixon, Ms. Horton, Ms. Tarenti, Ms. Holt, Mr. Berry, Ms. Alcock, Ms. Lundgren, Ms. Forestier, Ms. Cachamilio, Ms. Goodman, Ms. Muick, Ms. Wetzel, Mr. Siegel, Ms. Alexander, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Giovino, and Ms. Huey have all contributed in some way to our curriculum over the summer. And last year, I shared with you that the board that PCPS had been awarded a $50,000 grant to support leadership development from the Wallace Foundation. Tonight, I'd like to give you a brief recap of the work we have accomplished so far. The majority of our funding is supporting the Coach Leadership Academy, designed for our current leaders, including school administrators, central office staff, student services, and instructional coaches. To guide this work, we have partnered with Dr. Kim Richardson, a coach, leadership strategist, professional speaker with an extensive background in education. Her experience includes serving as a teacher, instructional specialist, school principal, instructional coaching coordinator, federal programs advisor, central office administrator, director of professional learning, certified coach, all of this to say that she's a highly experienced educator well-positioned to help us grow. So far, our work together has been focused on what it means to be a coach leader, the importance of identifying and living by our core values, and setting a clear purpose for our learning together throughout the school year. This work will continue monthly throughout the school year and culminate in June of 2026. We greatly value this time and opportunity to learn together as it strengthens our shared commitment to supporting the growth of every staff member in our division. And now for our College Now. So this lovely logo created by Dr. Winchester and Kelly Purdy, combining, of course, PCPS and Virginia Peninsula Community College. Last fall, we began discussions with Virginia Peninsula Community College to expand our dual enrollment opportunities and create a cohort of students working toward an associate's or its equivalent. We're proud to share that PCPS now has a fully developed plan that allows qualified students to earn dual enrollment credits in the way that best fits their needs. Students may take DE courses on the high school campus, virtually, or in person at Virginia Peninsula Community College. The numbers shown here reflect only students enrolled in Virginia Peninsula Community College dual enrollment courses. In addition, we also have students taking DE courses through Virtual Virginia and New Horizons programs, including the Governor's School and CTE program. And we plan to give you a comprehensive look at our accelerated and advanced coursework to include DE, APE, and honors later this fall. So you'll see we have 180 enrollments with 158 students. So 158 students are now accessing dual enrollment classes through Virginia Peninsula Community College. We've talked about the passport and UCGS before, but I wanted to give you an update because since then there's been some legislation, House Bill 1087, which requires the following. Each school board is required to offer each qualified high school student in the school division access to dual enrollment courses that are sufficient to complete the passport program or the Uniform Certificate of General Studies, the UCGS. As we just shared, not only does PCPS offer the associate's degree, which is a 60-plus credit hours, the passport and UCGS, of course, are offered because they were captured within that 60 credit hours. And of course, students can take individual classes if they don't want to pursue the packages of passport, UCGS, or the associate's degree or its equivalent. And this is just a preview of what you can expect for the coming school year. And of course, I'll share this after each of our meetings and what we might cover. And just like last year, we plan to highlight certain programs throughout the month and bringing in more students to share their work and the great things that are happening in Poquoson. Are there any questions?
I just had one question about the College Now. You said 158 students. About what percentage of that are students that are eligible? 158 out of...
Of how many are
six.
eligible? Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to look at, I'd have to get back to you on that. He wants to know, of the 158, what percentage of that is who is eligible? So there are requirements of hitting that B+.
They have their own requirements for BPCC, as well as we kind of set parameters for what we want to see from a student who's ready to take those dual enrollment classes. So I don't know that I...
Yeah,
I
get a
can figure that
percentage. Mm-hmm. And of course, that is going from sophomores to seniors who could be enrolled.
It's roughly that enrollment, sophomore, seniors, 600 students?
650 something.
But that's freshmen to seniors.
That includes freshmen, I'm sorry.
Mhm, that includes freshmen, so 500.
500-ish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And if I am correct, that does not include our kids who are already engaged in New Horizons
Correct.
programming and Governor's School. There's probably another
Virtual Virginia.
30 kids-ish involved in those programs, also in partnership with Virginia Peninsula Community College, taking dual enrollment.
So the
College credit.
courses that make these numbers, we'll be looking at that dual enrollment English, public speaking, stats, history, geology.
Quantitative reasoning, there's several English.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Mr. Roberts for the operations update.
All right, good evening, members of the school board, Superintendent Mr. Tillett, staff, and community members. I'm going to start out with the slide I enjoy the most from my presentation. And that's from the dedication of all of our building administrators, all our directors, coordinators, just everyone that has had a hand in the hiring season. Pleased to announce that we've had 55 vacancies, and that could be anywhere from a transfer, a retiree, someone who just left. But division-wide for instructional vacancies, 55. Out of the 55, right now we have 54 covered and filled qualified positions or candidates, and 36 of those are the new teachers. 8 actually were returning, meaning they left our division and decided to rejoin us. I think that's pretty powerful. The one position that we still need, selfless plug, is our para at the PPS, so please apply if you're interested. Division vacancies, that's included with the student services, transportation, and maintenance. 8 vacancies across the hiring season, 2 positions filled, so we still need that list right there. 1 bus driver, a bus aide, maintenance helper, IT tech that's part-time, and then 2 speech pathologists, okay? But overall, I don't think any other neighboring divisions slide will look the same as far as the percentage that we had versus what we had, we're able to fill. All right, it's been a busy summer in operations. If you've been around any campuses, you may have seen some of these projects kind of in process. Please announce that the HVAC system replacement at the high school is nearing completion. They're just in the final stages, kind of the punch list items. System is running smoothly and regulating temps. The floor tiles, there was some damage there that we had some tiles replaced. Main office, I'll show you a picture here in a minute. They got new carpet and new furniture, so that looks really, really nice. Job coach van was purchased. The floor waxing is really, the high school is the only building we're kind of behind on right now just because of the project. You know, we couldn't get in to wax, so you know, that is in progress. They're starting now. By the time the students hit the hallways, everything should look really, really nice. All the classrooms right now are waxed. It's really just the hallways and larger areas we're trying to concentrate right now on. Going to the elementary school, we did the tinting on the media center back glass, that huge window. It looks really, really nice. Exterior painting is in progress. We're freshening up the dark horizontal boards that are dark gray. They've kind of faded over the years and kind of look splotchy, so that's going to start as soon as the weather gives us a break. We are painting their parking lot. Some of the arrows and things were painted the other night, but again, the weather right now is kind of limiting that progress. Pleased to announce that the trailers that were once used at the elementary school are all prepped and ready to be removed. They all sold, except the ones that we decided to keep for storage and or tech and our transportation office that is included in that little area. So I'm hoping to see those start being pulled away soon. Fire alarm system was complete over the summer. Gym floor, which I have some pictures of, you'll see, and mulching the playgrounds, and all but their cafeteria, and I think that'll be finished tonight and be ready for open houses. Will be waxed tonight. The middle school, the gym roof was replaced successfully, and we had 2 sections of our main roof left over from the renovation that we just did some coatings to make it watertight. That also was completed. Interior courtyards, I'm really excited to show off one of the pictures for the progress on that. We did finish the mini split AC. The kitchens have never had air conditioning in the middle school, so now they will be very glad to go in there and be able to adjust that down, especially during the warmer months, and their floor waxing is complete. PPS, we did a lot of work, just not a lot of huge projects, but Ms. Good has done a really good job kind of rearranging the building. That's looking great. And then we did do some dead tree removal because we had to shut down one of the playgrounds at back for IPOP, but that's all fixed now. Playground's mulched and her floors are waxed. So off to the fun stuff here. That's a picture of the new furniture and carpet at the high school's main office. Looking really pretty. Here is the new interior courtyard at the middle school, and remember there's two of those. So that is some kind of like artificial turf. They've not really done the plant section yet, but they've added the borders. Really going to improve the drainage in that area and make it nice and enjoyable for the students and staff. So looking really forward to seeing that project completed. Here's the mirror tent on the back of the elementary school. I thought that turned out really well and makes the building look a little bit more presentable. Definitely going to help the heat in that space. And this is one of the prettier gym floors that we have. I just love to see, this is our third one, and each time it just keeps getting better and better, it seems. But looks really nice in there. It was a combination between the principal and Miss Barnes, the PE teacher, to kind of design this. And they incorporated the 4 squares. You'll see that all up and down both sides. The kids love those, so I'm sure they'll be really thrilled to see that. There are some pacer lines, and I don't know if you're familiar with that test. They may not be as enthused that that's on there. But I know Miss Barnes is going to love that. But it is a really pretty gym. If you get a chance, go check that out. All right, so I'm not going to bore you with reading every one of these. This stuff is in your packet, but it is really important to note that these are state codes that have changed across the summer. Our legal team provides us the packet of things that they know we're going to have to change, and they provide recommendations. All these have already been adjusted in our crisis management plan and code of conduct. If, pending your approval tonight, they're ready to push play and will be in compliance for the first week of school. So anything that's in here that, is safety related, whatever, that'll go in the crisis management, or, anything that's student related will be in the code of conduct that you'll see later. That should have been in your packet. Please note that there's one revision right at the bottom, the one about the telehealth. That's the only one that our attorney did note as optional. It's not that we would not allow students to go out and conduct their telehealth visit. We've done that before in our schools. We provide space, but that provision would go further with MOUs and things of that nature. So that one is the only optional one that we don't have to do. And we have also ordered all the materials. I know there's the Stop the Bleed kits that you have to have now in schools. Those are already on order, shipping on our way or to us to remain compliant. Okay. All right, student code of conduct update. You'll see those in your board packet as well. Pretty standard stuff. The calendars, any new board member, admin name, number, that's changed. One thing I will point out, we did change the format of our student incident reports. Instead of having like kind of our verbiage, we've just, like most divisions around us, have just kind of opted to go with what the state format is with their descriptors and just the codes. So there's no discrepancies there. Everything else is just pretty much updating things like testing windows and things of that nature that we do each year. All right, transportation. So we do have 13 bus drivers, 5 bus aides, 1 new bus driver that will be in training soon, 1 substitute driver, and I'm pleased to announce that all routes are posted and finalized. Of course, we're taking the request for changes and everything that we do each year. We'll be at open houses to make sure that we answer any questions, show any routes to anybody that needs it or stops, and there will be the student transportation change forms available there for parents to fill out. The Parent Bus app will be launched this year for all buses. We're going to kind of give that first week a break and not put it in the hands of the parents just because there's so many changes that first week. But we will be rolling that out September 1st. And you will get a Parent Square message sometime by the end of this week, kind of with that information and more about the app. So, you're just not blindly given something and being like, figure it out. So, and we'll follow that up with the weeks to come just to make sure that parents are understanding the features and how to navigate that. But super simple. We used it during summer school. It had about a 2 to 5 second, delay, but I thought that was pretty cool. I actually followed the bus and looked at it on my phone because you can, see it on our app. It's pretty cool to see how accurate it was following around town. So it's going to be really nice. And then Bus Patrol, that's not the app, has no relation to that, but that's with the Stop Cam arms that will provide us with interior and exterior cameras as well for free. We're just kind of in that negotiation phase where we're just ironing out all the details of the agreement. Once that, is signed, then we can start having them come and install those on the buses. So looking forward to that as well. All right, technology update. I'm pleased to announce that we are back on our rotation and being able to remain on the rotation that we've agreed to. So we were able to replace 300 Chromebooks, the 50 laptops, 50 iPads, all according to that plan. So we're going to try to keep on doing that. That way that each year we have updated technology and there'll be less, chances for breaking down. We did add some additional cameras to PMS, and of course, we're going to be adjusting and looking at recommendations from our safety committee for additional cameras moving forward in the school year. All right, safety update. I'll actually start at the bottom there. Our safety committee did meet, and most of these things were what we discussed last year and put into play over the summer. Some of these things are new. We did receive the 5 open gate systems that we received the grant money for the school and equipment safety grant from the state. So that makes us have 6 total in the division, which is going to be nice. We're going to plan to kind of pass those along through the different schools because they're mobile. They run off all drill batteries. So we can kind of train the staff each location and see how we can utilize them moving forward before we make that huge purchase, because these are pretty expensive, per unit. But they work really, really well. Most school divisions around, small and large, that's the system that they do use. Stop the bleed kits, like I said, have been ordered and will be placed strategically through the buildings. We are looking to purchase 2 additional AEDs through the fire department. They help us out with this for athletic fields, just so we have that ease of access. We already have 1 mobile one with the trainer and then 1 the school just has just to put where needed. But having some that are stationed and designated for those areas will make it much quicker if an event happens. We did have some fun today with the fire department at the middle school. We purchased 2 evacuation chairs for both the middle and elementary schools since they have a second story. And I was a guinea pig on one, and other staff members, we were put in these chairs and they wheeled us down the steps. That was definitely a trust exercise because none of us knew what we were doing. But it all went well. Fire department did a great job. I really thank them for putting that together quickly and learning those evac chairs. So that will help any, someone in the wheelchair, or if someone gets injured during a evacuation, we can get them down those steps without having to do the, fireman's carry down the steps. So very, very beneficial there. Fire inspections are underway. We've completed all the DCJS requirements as far as the surveys and audits, and our crisis management plan will be submitted this week, pending some approvals we're waiting on for this board meeting. Okay. In your board packet, there is a reading file on the primary school serving line. We went with Crest. That's a company that had a cooperative contract. I think theirs was through James Madison University. But basically, the serving line at the primary school is way outdated. A lot of things just don't even work. It's really just a table at this point. So we've researched and we put together this quote with one of the reps. Really pleased, very excited to see this, but we do have to ask for your approval just due to the price tag on that. But it is through a cooperative contract. And you can read more about that in your reading file. All right, next is the RFP for the phone replacement system that we did across the summer. We did award through that process IPC Technologies, Mitel. That's been our current provider for years now. You can read the reading file there. They've done great work with us, no complaints, but we give it a fair shake. There were 7 vendors that gave proposals. They won fair and square through the rubrics and all the things that we put it through. Again, due to that price tag, it was an approved CIP item, but we're just asking for approval to go to next steps with that as well. IPC, we've been in constant contact. They've been very, responsive, and they're eager and ready to start as soon as we get everything approved, and hoping to do that early in the school year to get all of those physical phones replaced, not only for us, but also the city is included in this as well. All right, so the tennis court update, since I kind of left you the last presentation saying that we were going to do all these tests due to the severe cracking. The company did come, Terracon, to do the geotechnical study. They took 4 core samples. I was actually able to meet them over there and watch this. Just to take note a little bit, you see the maroon beneath the paved core there to the right. That's the same location to the left that it was taken from after it was extracted. So there was quite a bit of water that was beneath that surface. So little, not kind of what we wanted to see at first, but we're going to wait for the study to come back and see the recommendations from the geotechnical group. So, but while I was there, that's about 6 to 8 inches of asphalt from all the paving through the years. That is a lot of weight pressing down on that surface. So looking forward to seeing what that has, but initials, it's a lot of water underneath that court. Playground inspections. Keith Fye, thank you very much. He always hooks us up and does our inspections for free, so we really appreciate his help. His recommendations, there are some things that year after year that he keeps noting. Either we fix them and by the time the end of the year comes, they're just that way again, or it's just something that we need to really consider replacing. So we're kind of the point with certain equipment items to make that decision. As you know, playground equipment is really expensive, so we're going to take the initiative to form a committee for playgrounds this year and just kind of take a look at what he's recommended and then start researching options to kind of propose and see how we can get them funded and replaced. But huge thanks to Keith. He always does a great job. And unless you have questions, that's all I have.
I did have one question regarding the policies changes, and it relates to the reading file. Do we have a mix of formatting in the policies? Some are additional language changed, throughout, and then some of it's just red lines?
Right.
Okay.
So when you pick that up, I actually like that they put comments too from the attorneys, and it should have been on the printouts that you received. But yeah, some are just the strike and line kind of things, some verbiage needs to change, and some are just new state codes that they're saying, hey, you need to do this.
The reason why I ask is like the one that stuck out to me is the cell phone use policy.
Right.
It is, now it's, just a few items.
Right.
But obviously our cell phone policy is much longer.
Yeah, it's
And
robust.
so these are replacement of those particular lines
Right.
within the policy, not the policy in whole.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
That's a good question.
And I just have a quick question on the transportation side. I know we said we have 13 bus drivers. We're still looking for one, is that
Still
correct?
looking for one.
And that
Yep.
would bring us up to, how does that compare to last year?
Yeah, last
from where
year, we gained Lisa Turner. She finished her training. That was the person that we were talking about all last year that was trying to get through her training. So she did, and she's been driving buses all summer school, and even I think she's on a trip today for an athletic event. But we're about 2 more than we were last year, and then we've just got one that we are recommending for hire that we were hoping to put in training very, very soon. So fingers crossed, we're looking like a better start.
Great.
Yeah.
I had one question. I believe it was in the policy. There was a addendum in there, and it was marked as optional regarding student enrollment, and I guess allowing people or students whose parents are serving active duty.
Military. Mhm.
I saw it was still in there listed as optional. Do we have like a grasp of how that would affect us by changing the policy for that?
I haven't been able to see any of that yet. These are all new. I mean, we just got this, a month ago, so we would really have to look and see if there's any impact on that.
The benefit is it's a positive for us in that it increases our ADM, and ADM is how we fund our school system. Each child, state funding is around $7,600. So it's actually a benefit to us, and we have capacity. And so we have recommended, as the state did in this optional policy, to allow that military-connected family enrollment. That a lot of school divisions have had that for years. But it is one that we do have the capacity for, even with legacy and our projections. We don't think it's going to change, the bottom line of space, which is really all that is, because you do get the ADM.
Yes, I thought that at first too. Is it all active duty military? There's other stipulations, right? With if they're going to be deployed, and then the person who the child may be in care with during the employment has to be a resident. So it's still fairly.
It's not an open gate to anybody
Right.
who happens to be enlisted.
'Cause I was curious about
there's
the same,
several
how many-
requirements. We would just be taking a stab at it because we really have no way of knowing who could check all of those boxes, but it is centered around deployment. And so it's kind of hard to measure that, what population, portion of the population would be deployed at any given time who would qualify with a resident to be able to stay. I'm guessing very small numbers. And again, we have capacity. So I don't see a real downside to this, even though there is some optional language in the law. It's not a requirement. We decided to push this one forward, unlike the telehealth one that does have an optional stamp to it and would require some more research. There's some MOU requirements in that legislation that we're not prepared for at this point. And again, all of this legislation, just as to clarify, ended with the General Assembly in late June. Our attorneys then vet the laws and against our policies over the course of July, and we received them end of July, early August, and of course we put them on the packet for this meeting.
I guess just for clarification, the packet we received listed that as optional. If we're voting to bypass the second reading today, that would be included.
That's correct, yeah. Just the military-connected one, the telehealth, we did not include. We left that as optional for future discussion. It's not going to be approved tonight in the docket.
I had a question about the tennis courts.
Sure.
I know they just did the pouring, they're probably analyzing the courts
Right.
now, but do we have any idea, I guess it depends on what they find is the problem, but
Right.
will they be ready in time for spring tennis?
It just really depends on the extent that we'll have to, work with the pay. If it's a mill and pave, yes. But if it's something more extensive, then it would just be lining up the work and hoping that we can get it, all done and wrapped up. Yep.
Let me just add another point to the tennis court saga. It is our intention to have that court redone, whatever the requirements are, by spring for tennis season. However, there's some movement that will have to happen with the CIP. As you all know, you adjusted your CIP at our recommendation in June to push that up to immediate. If that passes and the funding is there, we put is somewhere just under $500,000, I think, 400 some thousand. That's the top end, we believe, of the expense to do a total new tennis court. That's our belief. If we have to go there, that's kind of worst case scenario. And then if it doesn't get funded with the CIP, we'll be working on a backup plan with carryover funding that Ms. Spence will talk about at a future meeting. So we're trying to get Plan A, Plan B, Plan C in place because we don't see it as an option that it not be available for spring sports for our season.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts. Ms. Spence, for the finance and budget update.
Good evening, Chair Burbidge, Vice Chair Mr. DeBow, school board members, Superintendent Mr. Tillett, members of the school community. I'm pleased to present tonight a financial and update for the school system. Tonight, I'm just going to be going over the reporting that we're primarily focusing on the next 2 months, which is supporting transparency and accountability to support the educational excellence across our school district. Now, every month is in your board packet, you receive the monthly board financials, so that gives you regular updates throughout the year, providing you with the current financial status as well as budget variances. All this leads into the annual audit. Now, this is a comprehensive testing of revenues, expenditures, payroll, procurement activities, fixed assets, federal grants, as well as the school activity funds. We're in the middle of our audit field work right now. The school activity funds, they've been at all 4 schools in the month of July, and their field work has been completed. And our financial audit for all the main funds is beginning September 1st through September 15th, And all the reports will be to the auditors by the end of this week for them to start that. Next is the state financial report, which is called the Annual School Financial Report. And these, for all school systems across the Commonwealth, have to report revenue and expenditures in a very specific state-prescribed format that ensures standardization and comparability across the school districts. This report is very important. It sometimes determines how we are funded when we're compared to other school districts, as well as all the federal grants look to this annual school report in regards a lot to our special education expenditures. There are 9 categories of expenditures, which starts with instruction, and I'm not going to read through it, but there are a lot of different categories so that the state can see how much is going into general instruction, media, guidance, etc. It also has us aggregate our administrative, health, transportation, food service, has a whole different set of standards, and it goes through our operations, facilities, and technology. And then the instructional is further defined. So everything that we have, general instruction, it has to be separated between elementary grades, K through 7, and then secondary, 8 through 12. And again, the state looks at this. These reports are available on the state. It's called Superintendent's Financial Reports. And you can compare us with York, all your neighboring about how much is per pupil expenditures and things like that. And once we get the audit, I'll be sharing that with you. And that's all I have for this evening. Short meeting for me tonight. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Carroll, do we have any public comments for this evening?
Chair Burbridge, we have no comments this evening.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. I'm going to propose that we do these individually as we have a conflict with the staff. So we're going to go through, it's 5, vote for them. Do 5 votes, or can we do 2? Do 2, 1?
If I could recommend, Mr. Chair, that you just take a vote to amend the consent agenda, removing personnel action, and then vote on the consent agenda, and then personnel action as a separate vote.
Okay. Okay, can I have a motion to amend the consent agenda, removing item C? And we'll vote on everything but C.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Ms. Carroll, can we have a vote, please?
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell? Ms. Orsborn?
Aye.
Chair Burbidge?
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, moving on, can we have a motion to approve item C, approval of personnel action?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Ms. Carroll, a vote?
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Same.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell?
Aye.
Ms. Osborne?
Aye.
Chair Burbidge?
Aye.
Vote passes 5-1.
501. Now we vote, okay, yes, now we need a motion to vote on items, the whole consent agenda. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Ms. Carroll, the vote?
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DeBose?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell? Ms. Orsborn?
Aye.
Chair Burbidge?
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving along. Item 8, this is other matters for consideration. Item A is consideration of approval of first reading of changes to policy manual and waiver of second reading. Can I get a motion to approve, a motion for consideration of approval of first reading of changes to policy manual and a waiver of the second reading?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion about waiving the second? No, Mr. Maxwell, you had a question. Good. Any other questions or discussions? Down?
This doesn't include the telehealth, correct?
No,
As long as
not
we're
at
good
this
with that,
point.
yeah.
Okay, Ms. Carroll, can we have a vote, please?
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Mr. Jones, Ms. Jones, I'm sorry,
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell, Ms. Orsborn,
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, item B is consideration of approval of 2025-2026 Code of Student Conduct. I have a motion for approval of 25-26 Code of Conduct.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, Ms. Carroll?
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell.
Aye.
Ms. Orsborn.
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, item 8D is consideration to authorize the superintendent to sign a contract with Crest Food Services Equipment. Can I? Pardon me?
C.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I jumped down to D. God, this is hard to see. Consideration to authorize the superintendent to sign a contract with IPC Technologies Middle My Voice Business Systems. We have a motion to approve that.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? Ms. Carroll, the vote?
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Ms. Jones. Mr. Maxwell,
Aye.
Ms. Orsborn,
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
All right, now we'll talk about item D. Is 8D, consideration to authorize the superintendent to sign a contract with Crest Food Services Equipment. Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? Carol, the vote, please.
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Ms. Jones. Mr. Maxwell,
Aye.
Ms. Orsborn,
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay. Item E is consideration to approve the adoption of AP Human Geography textbooks for Poquoson High School. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion about? Okay, Ms. Carroll, the vote?
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell,
Aye.
Ms. Orsborn,
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, last one. Item 8F is consideration of approval of proclamation for Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, Ms. Carroll, the vote?
Mr. Dowd,
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose,
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell,
Aye.
Ms. Orsborn,
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay, thank you. All right, I guess we'll move into item 9, communication and/or other matters by school board and/or superintendent. Sud, are you gonna, do you have anything you want to, okay. It's the beginning, school hasn't started yet, so. It is good to see you again. I'm looking forward to your comments throughout the school year, so I can't wait to see what the kids are doing in all of our schools. Mr. Maxwell?
I will always start with a preemptive echo of say, and I will inevitably forget, but I do have kind of a, firstly, I want to thank our outgoing school board member, Mr. Claude, service. It was a pleasure working with him. To Mr. Dowd and Ms. Osborne for joining us. Thank you to the staff that was responsible for the new employee orientations, and the team that put together all the Spark training. It looked like a great, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend because of my day job, but one of these years, I'm going to be there. Also, thank you to all the teachers and staff that made the Summer Academy happen. Looked like that was a great program as well. Some public library for helping support with that. Everyone involved for the Globe and NASA Eclipse program, especially thank you for that $5,000 grant. Always love a grant. To all the curriculum writers for the program, I think I counted 25 names, so that's outstanding contribution from our teachers. To the Wallace Foundation for their grant, and thank you to all our involved in standing up this College Now program. I'm amazed how quickly that's grown, and it's really, I think, going to be a great program for all of our students. Thank you to the HR team for filling those 54 positions, especially driver positions. Always looking forward for more bus driver positions. And his team for everything you've done with all your summer projects. Thank you to Ms. Ide and Ms. Spence for your presentation. Special thank you to Councilman Five for his school playgrounds.
Thank you. Mr. Dowd?
I definitely want to echo everything that everybody here has got to say, and thank you guys for being so courteous. I know that I've talked to a lot of you and look forward to working with you, and I'd like to thank City Council for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Ms. Osborne?
I echo the sentiments of previous board members, and I'm excited about having this opportunity to serve on the board. I am absolutely thrilled to see the staffing progression and how far ahead we are from other districts, and the return of staff members who previously left and have come back. It's very exciting to see and see familiar names. Forward to a great school year.
Thank you. Ms. Jones?
Yes, I will not repeat all. Mr. Maxwell, you actually hit a lot of my list here, so I will jump around a bit just so I don't say them all again, but did want to give a public thank you to Mr. Claude as well. I appreciated his service on this board and enjoyed working with him. And welcome, Mr. Dowd, Ms. Osborne. Really look forward to us all getting to work this year. Welcome to all of our new PCPS employees. Welcome back to returning staff. I really think it's going to be a great school year. Just a quick thank you to Ms. Purdy and all who pulled together Spark. I really heard some great things about that event. And also to the curriculum writers and for all of the College Now work, most specifically. I know that was quite the undertaking, and I just think it's awesome that it's all in place and ready to get going, for our students this school year. So I've noticed around town, the turf field out at the middle school has been busy. I can tell all of our fall sports are kicking off, so excited for all of that, excited to get the students back in the building at open houses and for back to school next week. So looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. Mr. DeBose?
Reflecting back a year ago, Chris was in the hot seat, and he's progressed really well and covering all the bases for everybody. So we echo everything that Chris says and comments on. A few things of note. There are 10 Fridays till Halloween. There are 18 Thursdays till Christmas. And love it or hate it, we're 1 week away from pumpkin spice season. So.
Thank you. I want to reiterate everything that Mr. Maxwell and everyone else said. I would like to say one thing about Spark. It was amazing. I want to congratulate Ms. Purdy and all the hard work that she and unknown numbers of staff put into putting an extremely successful event together. I think that this is something that really helps our teachers and staff, and subsequently also helps our community because it's improving our school systems where we have teachers that are highly trained in the latest, curriculums. Professional development was amazing. The conversations that I saw unpacking math curriculum was really awesome. I'm an aquatic toxicologist. I don't know how to unpack a curriculum. I know what one is, but to actually see it get done was amazing. I'd like to thank Mr. Claude and his service. I really enjoyed working with him. I enjoyed his inquisitive questions and just things that he focused on. I wish him the best. The curriculum writers, I want to thank them for putting in a lot of hard work this summer, writing curriculums. These are things that our students will benefit from greatly. And then lastly, the HR team for filling all of these positions. Last year, we were almost there, but we weren't quite. But now I feel like we've got a good team together, and I look forward to a great school year. Thank you.
I would always like to echo all the things that have already been mentioned. Of course, coming up last, you can't think of anything new to say, except I do want to say that this hiring season, in my experience here in Poquoson, has been probably our best yet. And I have to say thank you to a lot of people who do this. People ask me all the time, what do y'all do in the summer? We work. There's a lot of work that happens over the summer, and this has been a busy hiring season, but a very successful one. The caliber of professional educator that we have been able to hire this season have been second to none. I mean, really phenomenal. And this is a great place to live and work, but it also, you have to make a living wage, and the work that this board did in support with City Council has made a huge difference in how we can recruit and hire and retain the highest quality educators. So I just want to thank you all for your heavy lift in that. I know it wasn't easy. It's hard work when you're asking for money, but it's money well spent, I'll have to say. Secondly, I want to say that the work that we have done over the summer, both curriculum and on physical plant and all of that, again, a very busy summer, but I think we're poised to have perhaps the best school year ever in Poquoson. We're just ready. It feels ready. I heard from our new teachers a lot of feedback about how good they felt about their orientation and their being plugged in immediately to the community. Just real positive vibe in the air about the start of the school year. So I'm excited. I had an old superintendent buddy tell me years ago, Artie, if you don't get butterflies in your stomach the few days before school starts, you should quit. And I have butterflies in my stomach. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great year. So thank you all.
Thank you. Ms. Carroll, are there any other materials for board review?
Chair Burbridge, we have no additional materials for board review today.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now, item 11, where it's a call for a closed session. Can I get a motion to move to closed session for consideration of personnel matters?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? Okay. I have to read this statement. Personnel pursuant to section, I gotta blow this up, I can't see this at all. Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia, I move that this board go into closed meeting to consider the assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of the school board, or for discussion, consideration, or interview of prospective candidates for employment. We've already had the motion to move. All right, so that's after we're done. All right, so we've had a second. Ms. Carroll, a vote?
Mr. Dowd?
Aye.
Vice Chair DuBose. Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Maxwell. Ms. Orsborn.
Aye.
Chair Burbidge.
Aye.
Vote passes 6-0.
Okay. Kind of pack up and move next door.